Hello, Joseph Bartz here from josefbartz.de. In this video, I am presenting something that is utterly fundamental for being productive. And when I talk about productivity, I don't talk about it in a sense of, okay, you are a robot in a factory or something. But I'm talking about it especially also for people that are taking care of themselves, of their day, that have their own day. So especially people that are self-employed or that need to organize their own work, even if they're employed by someone, or that want to organize their time that is not work. So the things that I present in my work, that I talk about with people, can be used for artists, can be used for people working on the computer, can be used for people that take care of other people. Yeah, if it's therapists or social workers or whatever. Like it's very fundamental and general, this stuff. Like everyone can benefit from it. But especially there was an attack on productivity in a sense because of the computer. So that's something that is highly interesting, because the computer can create a very high productivity because it can automate lots of things. No, like computer IT technology has really changed our life, and through automating, through the possibility of letting the computer solve problems, this has taken a lot of time off our schedule, but at the same time, people lose themselves a lot in the possibilities of these machines, and also they lose themselves in the real world. So many people that I work with talk about the lack of focus that we have nowadays. Yeah, and it also happens to me that I feel like, wow, like there's so much things and I don't know what to start with, and blah 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 blah. And this is exactly what I want to talk about: to put things in an order and to execute in the sequence that you created, or the sequence that makes sense. So here is what I'm presenting now. It is figure out the proper sequence and execute according to that sequence. You can also call this to work sequence compatible, or in German ablaufgerecht. So very often it is that we have lots of dots floating around in space, yeah, and we have this chaotic something happening. So we have to create an order here, and sometimes we have to create the order out of ourselves, like it's not so obvious. But often if we look at things, there can be an obvious order. Yeah, a bit like the joke. Do you know these jokes? How do you put an elephant into the fridge? Oh no, I don't know. Like, how do you do that? Open the fridge, put the elephant in, close the fridge. Yeah, the joke is, okay, you just have to have the proper sequence of things, the proper order of things. But that's just number one. Number two is to execute in that order. And this has the same difficulty. We all struggle to stay with the plan, no? At least me, I struggle with it, definitely. So for me, it is a practice to stay with the plan. I'm very open to things. Like, I love many different things, and my awareness is open. Yeah. So for me, this is a constant practice. Okay, stay with the plan, stick with the plan. Sometimes you need to change. Obviously, if you stick too much with the plan, that's a bad idea also. So there is a certain balance with it. Yeah. But from what I saw is that many people nowadays struggle to stick with the plan. First to create a plan and then to stick with it. But all great things, all big things have been made, have been built through creating a plan and following through with the plan and adjusting the plan when needed. because we never have perfect plans. We always need to adjust it. Yeah, but these first two fundamentals have to be there. Create a plan and do the plan. And this is how the big churches were built, how we send people to the moon, blah, 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 all this stuff. So this is something that you have to train and to harness. Create plans, execute them. Creating a plan means to separate execution and planning. And that's something very important to understand. Don't plan on the go while executing. That is serving two masters and serving none properly, you could say. This is what I tell always people for their training. If you decide while training what you're doing, for 99% of the people, let's exaggerate, this is not creating a proper training. There are people that can do that are highly trained in deciding on the spot what's happening, and it ends up to be a great training. But especially beginners will not be able to do that. Yeah, and most people are beginners when it comes to training. So you have to sit down before and plan, or let someone plan it before you. Write a training plan for you. So when the training is happening, there's no question about what am I doing now, but it's clear there is just execution, and you can completely focus on the execution. So you have to separate the two, planning and execution, so you can really then focus on the execution, because this is what you then actually want to do, to take action. But to take action properly, you have to do proper planning. So every day, that's a practice. What is my plan? I try to stick to the plan. I work sticking to the plan. If I need to change something, I change something. I evaluate, I reflect. All right, this doesn't work. My plan was not good. I need to change something. No problem. Do it. Because there is a big problem if you always lose the momentum again. It's a bit like you stand on the top of the mountain and you have a stone and you want to, you throw the stone. You think, it will roll down the mountain and it will be so great. And I will look at it, with my goggles and wow, that will be super amazing. And then you roll it and then it goes tuk 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 and then it stops. All right, that was not how I anticipated it. The fact is that your energy leaks through the cracks, and you have a lot of cracks. So you have to work to close the cracks, to keep the energy, to channel it into what you want to do. And the path is never linear. Never just goes like this. Yeah, but it's always like. But if you can always come back to the path. Yeah, okay, I was thrown off a bit. I come back. I practice staying on it. I go. I practice staying on it. This is how something is happening. No, this is how the church is built. The big church. So, work sequence compatible. For that, you have to figure out the sequence. Avoid sequence mistakes. So in German, I would say, arbeite ablaufgerecht. Und halte dich fern von Ablauffehlern. And notice when you're steering off track, so you can come back. This is an everyday practice. Continue.